Hi everyone, good afternoon. Welcome guys. Welcome. Welcome everyone. Good afternoon. So can you just tell me where you're joining from? Um, Welcome. Can you tell me where you're joining from? Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please let me know in the chat that you can hear me. Hi Brenda, welcome. Can you hear me? All right, thanks. Welcome everyone. We're not going to waste time. Um, we're going to go right into it. This is supposed to be a 1 hour class, and I have so much to share. So I will just go right into it. Welcome everyone. Welcome from wherever you're joining from. You're welcome. Feel free to share the link with your friends that might want to participate in this class. So feel free to share the link with them. I'm doing this on behalf of the Techie Train Incubator Foundation, and this is a CV and resume online class. So why am I doing this? At the Techie Train Incubator, we're very keen on outsourcing and job placements, and it got to a point where there was just so much that I could handle. So people can reach out to me for to hire someone, but it's so stressful to have to screen and review the CVs and identify. However, based on experience, I've also learned that sometimes the people with the best CVs are not the most qualified. And so I'm wondering, those that are now well qualified, their CVs or resume, I would say resume, most times they call for CVs, are not well crafted or they do not have portfolios. And so they tend to look over them. And most often I've had to put in words like just tell them, oh, trust me on this, this person can do this. But the question is, how long am I going to do that? I can't do that for everyone. I won't be there all the time. And there are some people that never reach out to me to tell me that, hey, this person you sent, this is this. I've also had someone who had a beautiful CV and we submitted the CV and we're waiting for the offer. And what happened was her number was wrong on the CV. And so they were trying to reach her, they could not, and they just went for someone else. Like we've had so many issues in terms of resume and CV, and I've seen it disqualify so many people. Now, I need you to understand that your resume or your CV is literally almost the first thing or the first contact people will have with you. I know these days there are resumes that are so beautified that you can put your photo or your passport, but it's not very, very encouraged most times. And so most times they're like, don't put it, especially when it comes to inclusion. So people do not hire you based on sentiments that okay, you're fair or you're dark and all of that. So it's not very encouraged. So the first thing people have in contact with you is what you have put together, right? It's more like I don't know how many of you have gone for applied for a visa, places like the UK, like South Africa, and all those places where you don't go for interview. Is what you have written there that is the first thing. Even if you go to the US where you go for interview, you're going to fill a form. It's like your resume because it literally outlines everything, who you are, what you do, and all of that. And it's the first deciding factor to whatever it is that is going to be given to you. And I just thought, oh no, we can't keep missing opportunities. We need more girls to have more opportunities. And so I thought to create this class. Just thought about it last week, and it's been a very busy period for us. And we just even finished the orientation for Tech Up Girls, and here I am, 3:30. If you look at my eyes, sleepy, I'm tired because I've barely slept. But I just knew we had to have this. And I thought, no, you don't have to only restrict it to tech of girls. Bring in every other person, every other girl that is interested. There's so much to learn. And I took my time to outline my slides. I love to talk without slides, by the way, but I had to sit down to get my slides in order so that I do not miss any critical information that I would like to share with you. However, before we go into the whole slides thing, I want to talk to you a bit about who is hosting this. On a norms, I will not on a norms this information you might not be able to get it from for free, the way it's being put together, even to this level. But Tech Trade Incubator is all about giving back, and this is we want to enhance more women to get jobs. So that's why we're actually doing this. And so I want you to know about the foundation, which is established to empower young African women and youths with digital skills that will bridge the technology gap and build capacity in them to thrive. So basically, we provide them with the right tools to work their way out of poverty, because we believe that when you have worked your way out of poverty, you can care for your family. And if families are cared for, the society is strengthened, the communities are strengthened, because communities are made of family. We are devoted to investing in you to become financially independent, digitally efficient, as well as purpose oriented. We also want you to be career confident and socially connected. So if you do not present yourself well, I used to work with someone and she was an image consultant some years ago. And she would keep drumming, your image matters, your image matters. People might never get the opportunity to know all the stuff, all the beautiful stuff in your head. People might not have the time to sit down and understand your perspective. But your image, what is the first thing they're going to see about you? Most time, physically, they're going to see your face. However, when it comes to opportunities, they're going to see your resume, your CV, what you're submitting, right? That's what you're going to see. So it's very, very important that you have the right CV and you make sure it is done right. Last week we lost an opportunity because someone had a poorly written resume, and I knew that this girl was hardworking and so good. But I sent three options, and she was the first on the list, but the person went for the third person, and it's like, I don't know what you're saying, no, but from what I see, if she can't take time to do something right, then I don't think she's as good as you say. And I see that a lot, and so I want us to stop that. So that's where we talk about career confidence. Our vision is to raise self-sufficient girls and women through technology. And how are we doing this? We plan to advocate, educate, and empower girls and women with the right and relevant digital tools and skills to work their way out of poverty, to care for their families, and then strengthen their communities. We also want to be a prime incubator for girls and women embracing technology and the center of quality education for technology, for women empowerment. We believe that technology is a powerful tool to empower women, and it's a tool that gives access to opportunities to all women, irrespective of your age, race, or gender. Our core values include empowerment, inclusivity. We are not a religious organization, but because so we respect all backgrounds, ethnicity, religion, and all of that. We want you to feel included, and we want you to feel safe. And in our community, you get to learn, you get to share, you get to grow. By the way, I want to welcome you all to our Facebook community, Obrinto Chishe. I am so glad to have you there. Thank you for joining, and thank you for streaming from there. I really do hope that even after this class, you do not leave the community. I hope you stay back to learn, to share, and to grow. We are also particular about innovation, and we are constantly exploring new technology, partnerships, and approaches to solving problems as it relates to women and youth unemployment, especially in the African continent. We're open to collaborations. If you want to partner with us, if you want to work with us as an individual, as a company, as an institution, non for profit, whatever, we're willing to share our resources with you, as well as leverage on expertise to achieve the goals that is central. We're keen on sustainability, so we don't want to just train and tomorrow there's nothing to write home about. So we are always sending feedback forms. We are always trying to make sure the community is growing and constantly engaged. As you've come into the community, you receive newsletters from us, you receive information from time to time. We're checking on you, and that's what we're all about. We also believe in resilience. So if for any reason you have missed out on an opportunity before, a beautiful opportunity, because of one silly mistake, I need you to know that you can rewrite it, and there's something better ahead of you. We believe in your strength and your potential to overcome obstacles and achieve your goal. I believe that if you're here, that means you're humble enough to know that there might be something better that I can learn, and that's why I'm here. I know most of you here might have written CVs, you have opportunities already, but you just feel there can be something better, and so that's why you're here. So you are welcome. Our The last but not the least is excellence. We are committed to achieving the highest standard of quality in all aspects of our organization, from operation to program design to implementation, organizational management, donor stewardships, and all of that. We are those are our core values. I have to share that with you so you know who we are, and you know if you want to be our friend or not, or if you want to stay with us or not. Our core focus are for girls and women in areas of empowerment, awareness and advocacy, education, outsourcing, and job placement. We have four key programs currently at the organization. The first is the Techie Girls, which is significant for girls below the ages of 16. We are keen on creating awareness and advocacy for teenage girls about technology and encouraging them to pursue STEM careers. But even if they don't want to pursue careers in STEM, and by the way, STEM means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's also important that they understand that technology is an enabler. And so, whatever skill that you are going to, whatever career path you're going to be on, you need to have digital skills, just like you have numeracy and literacy. Numeracy, you can do the numbers, literacy, you can read. You also need digital skills and know how to understand digital tools to thrive in the world today and even tomorrow. So that's what we do for Techie Girls. We go to schools, we distribute books, resources, we have meetings with them, outreaches, and all of that. Then we have the Tech Up Girls, where we empower girls between the ages of 16 to 30 from across Africa with basic digital skills for employment, decent jobs, and also entrepreneurship actually. So we all those digital skills we're talking about in theory in Techie Girls, you come and learn it in Tech Up Girls. Tech Up Girls is free. Then we have Tech Up Ladies, where we teach advanced digital skill trainings to women. We currently have a cohort of about 60 girls across UI UX parts, data analytics, and blockchain. Last year we had software engineering. And then we have a community of which you are already in, Obinito Shishe, where we help girls and women we have trained to get access to job and opportunities. Um, we actually have a platform as well on this. We're going to be talking about that later. Those are our programs. So now we're ready for class. So welcome everybody. I see you all. Welcome Daridada, Sekani, Ihunaya, Susan, Isiaka, Presencia, Charity, Presencia. Okay, Zambia. I was going to say, where are you from? That name is not common. Rita Chisom, Nancy, welcome. Fatima Molokwe, welcome. All the way from Botswana. Patricia, welcome. Ibereme, welcome, welcome. Like I said earlier when we started, we're going to take most of your time. In an hour, I want us to be out of here. So my name is Excellence Anurika Joshua, and I am the founder of the Techie Train Incubator, and I am so excited that you are joining me today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's start. What is a CV? What is a CV? What are resumes? So we call CVs, but it's actually curriculum vitae. That's the correct pronunciation. But literally, if you're going to spell it, that's how to spell it, right? A CV and resumes are generally documents used to present your professional background and qualification to potential, not just employers, because even if you're going to grad school, you submit it. You submit your CV or resume. Most times, if you're applying for grants, they will ask you for your CV or resume, and not just for you, but that of your team members as well. Now, while there are some differences, quite a number of differences between these two, that's the CV and the resume, they usually serve similar purpose and they are essential components for application processes. A CV, it's more like a baby of sorry, a resume is a baby of a CV. So you can feel free to read the slides, but then I'm not going to be reading the slides. So I would think you should pay attention to me. If you pay attention to me, I believe that you will not forget easily. But if you just look at the slides and you're taking notes, you might be confused. Or you might just take notes, theoretical things that will not make impact for you. So pay attention to me. So basically, you seen an onion, Sabi. You are, I don't know who doesn't know an onion here. Do you all know an onion? Do you guys know an onion? Like onion. If you know an onion, tell me you know an onion. Like onion. 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 Do you know an onion? Tell me in the chat if you know an onion. Just say yes, I know an onion. Onion. I don't know what it's called in your language, or if you have another language or something. Okay. So if you notice an onion, when you take up the back, it has several layers inside, and you keep peeling it. When you keep peeling it, you keep seeing more out of it. That you have peeled off the back and you have the inside does not make it less of an onion. However, the onion is whole and full, and then you can just take a little as you need. An onion is what I'm going to illustrate as a CV, a curriculum vitae. So a CV is a comprehensive document. It provides a history of your life. It is everything about your life. And I feel everybody should have a CV, whether you're looking for a job or not, whether you're looking for an opportunity or not, whether you're looking for a grant or not, you need a CV. A CV should have everything. It contains everything about you. Is that full onions that you have not removed, that you have only removed the back, but that's those tiny pieces at the back, or not the full back, but then it is fully beautified. Why it's important to remove those scaly part at the back is that it's when you do that, that means you have beautified it, you have polished the document, and so it's whole. But then you have not opened all the layers. Your resumes are the inner layers of the CV. So out of this CV now, you have your whole life. The CV, most times when I want to write CV, we're going to be saying, I'm going to be discussing it later. I always say, sit down, get a pen and paper. For example, you're 30 years old now. In the first 5 years of your life, what happened? Okay, I started nursery school at so age. So you write, maybe if you're 30 years old now, that means you were born in 1993. That means you started, for someone like me, I'm 30. I started my pre-nursery school in 1994 September. So I'll put September 1994 to time, my pre-nursery school. When I was five, when I was five, I was in primary one already, which some people call grade one, right? So when you get that pen and piece of paper, write everything about your life. What happened at each segment? In my CV, you will find not just my educational background. Okay, I was 1 to 5. When I was 0 to 5, I had this. I write everything. When I finished secondary school, or when I was even in secondary school, I was working. My dad had a business center, and so he used to do computers, typing. It was in the university environment, so they used to do typing, computers, all of those things. And so I used to go there and help the computer operators to type. That's how I learned how to type. I'm very fast in typing. And at a point, my dad began to pay me for knowing how to type, like for knowing how to type, for typing for his clients. So he had like three computer operators, but of course there were not enough. And that time, not everybody had a laptop. Not everybody laptop was not it was not as accessible to everyone as it is now, right? So we had to type. People had to submit their projects, bring their projects to the computer lab to type, to the business center to type. And so I have that experience of being a computer operator. When I finished my secondary school, I had an experience of becoming the cashier in that my dad's outlet. Now, all those things you will find in my CV. When I got to the university, when we had strike in 200 level, I got a job with an eye clinic. I went for outreaches, volunteer work with a medical center, with an NGO. Like all of those things are in my CV. Now, to make sure it's not confusing, to make sure it doesn't confuse you, just get a paper and write the history of your life according to dates. If possible, by age. When I was 1 year old, this is what I did. 2 year old, this is what I did. The one you can remember. If you cannot remember it, maybe 5 years and below, you can forget. But the ones you can remember, just write it there. So your CV is this comprehensive document that contains everything about you, whether relevant or not. Even that you were an usher in church is relevant in your CV. I need you to know that. That you were an usher in church is relevant in your CV. That you attended Bible class, Islamia class is relevant in your CV. That you babysat for a while, even if it's for your sister and they said they will pay you, they did not pay you, is relevant in your CV. Your CV should contain everything about you, all the places you spoke, all the meetings you held. That is your CV. Your CV is that comprehensive document that provides in-depth in your life. Now, I need you to understand that there are some organizations that they call for applications and they just say CV. They use it loosely. Most times, it's the human resource guys. They don't know the difference, and then they get confused with terminology. So that is your CV. Now that is the full onions. However, in that onions, you have some layers inside. Those layers form your resume. Your resume is a concise and focused document that highlights your work or your journey, your life's journey, the part of your life that is relevant to a particular or job or a particular opening or a particular opportunity. So say for example, you have your whole CV. As you see me now, I have my CV, but I have not less than 7 resumes because I have a resume that I can present as a program manager. I have a resume I can present as a web developer. I have a resume I can present as a digital marketer. I have a resume I can present as a what do you call it, a project manager. I have a resume I can present as a like any part. So you can have a resume. You can have as many resumes as possible. And so your resume should be tailored for that particular job or opportunity. I have a resume if I want to apply for grants as well. So if I want to apply for, let's say, a web design job, in my resume, it has no business outlining that I was a cashier in a shop in 2010. That has no relevance in my resume. But some grad school or some higher opportunities, they might say, bring your CV. When they say bring your CV, now to know the trick, sometimes they'll say bring your CV, but they're asking for resume. How you know that is they'll say not more than so number of pages. When they say not more than so number of pages, just know they're requesting for a resume, not a CV. If they ask you for a CV, they're usually asking, let me see your life journey. Let me see. Most times they're looking for resilience. Oh, you've done all of this. Oh, you have little experience here. You have little experience here, which will be relevant to what I'm doing. So your CV is that whole bulb of onions. Your resume is the small layers that can be inside, and you can have as many resumes as possible. Am I making sense? Tell me I'm making sense if I continue. Do you get me? Does it make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? Or am I speaking gibberish? Do you get it? Do you get it? Okay, thank you. Thank you for getting it. Thank you. So we can go on. So that's basically what it is. So you must have a CV. Keep updating your CV. Even if you're still in the university, you have not finished the university, just be updating it. When you finish one, you finish this level, you put there. You do this, maybe they suddenly call you to come and speak in one event like that in your school. You put there. They called you, you joined, you volunteered in one. They said they were going to clean one office like that or one local place like that. Put it there so that you will not forget. Your CV keeps growing. Your CV keeps growing. Every role is relevant. So from that CV, when an opportunity now comes, they say, oh, we need a social media manager. Meanwhile, you're learning data analytics, but you have experience in social media management, maybe for yourself or for someone else. So you don't want to put the things that are not relevant. You go to that your CV and extract the relevant things in that your CV and put in the resume and submit for the social media role. Don't just go and carry your whole life history and give them and put what is not relevant there. Oh, I did ALX data analytics course. You put it there. And what are you using it for? Social media, they don't need it. They have told you this is what the requirements they need, and maybe that is not needed. So you don't need it in that resume. So we're going to go into details shortly. I just need you to understand. No, Chisom, they are not the same thing. They are just similar. One is a baby of another one. Resume is the baby of the CV. Thank you for getting it, Vicky. So that's what I need you to understand first. Now, what is the purpose? Why should you have a resume? And why should you have a CV? The first thing is, it is your first impression. I might not have spoken to you. I don't know you. Oh, I need to hire. I need to hire a program manager. Please call in their CVs. That is the first impression they're going to have of you. It provides a snapshot of your qualifications and suitability for the role. Don't forget, like I explained, some people do not even know the difference. Some HR people, so they'll just say, bring your CV. What they might be calling for is your resume. Don't get confused. So once they just say no more than how many pages, just know that. And also try to weigh in, maybe check, we're going to be seeing that later, how to identify your target audience, to know how to tailor it, because they might not need all of those infos. And if you go and submit 10-page documents and they're like, what is this one doing? And it's just not relevant to you, it might count against you. So it's very important that you know what is being requested for. Your CV and resume also demonstrates your qualification. It allows you to show your relevant skills, your experience, your accomplishment, and all of that. And you have the power to filter it to show that you are very fit for that position or that role or that opportunity. It can also be customized to align with your specific requirements and all of that. And it's also a way to know about you. When I see your CV, to a large extent, um, we're going to be talking about how many pages a resume should have, Chisom, later. See, we have a long way to go. It's 1 hour, so let us. Don't worry. I've got you covered. I came prepared because I really want you guys to win. I really don't. I want you to stop leaving money on the table. So I'm prepared for you. Don't worry. No fluff. Nothing. I'm giving you everything today. So when people see your resume or your CV, they're able to have an idea of who you are or what kind of person you are. And that's what people don't know. So they've not seen your face, but when they see the way you write, they're like, this person will be smart. However, I know that there are many people that pay people to write CV and resume for them. And so they write it, the beautiful words, and they submit. It might get you into the door, but it will not keep you there. Right? So sometimes you can bypass that, but it's important you learn this. Even if tomorrow you come and say, oh, help me write my CV or review. Yes, I can, but it's important you understand this basics, right? Your CV and resume it's also your professional representation, and it is very important. It plays a vital role in any application process. Ignore my slides that are focusing on job application process, because that is what we do at the Tech Training Incubator. However, I want you to know that it is important in every aspect of your life to have a good CV as well as a good resume, right? It's your first opportunity to showcase your qualifications, your skills, your experience, and all of that. So when you're having your CV, you should have everything. So your first assignment today is go and get a book. Don't get a piece of paper because you can misplace it or you can get lost. Get a book and get a pen. Maybe I think I have a book here. It could just be a 60 leaves notebook. I don't know how much they sell it right now. Maybe 120 in Nigeria or 200. I really don't know. But just get a notebook and begin to think back at your life, at all the things you did. I remember a story of a brother when I was in the university. I was attending Harvest House Christian Center in Ibadan. I schooled in Ibadan, and there was this minister in church who got a job with a multinational pharmaceutical company, and he didn't really have work experience. The only work experience he had was church work experience, and he had a certificate of there's this thing we used to do, I've forgotten the name now, of that program. Now, it was, what he didn't know was that I think one or two people in the interviewing board had attended Harvest House before, and so they knew the level. Harvest House has a high level of excellence, the way they deliver things, the way it's done. If you live in Ibadan, you might want to stop by there and just check it out, just to learn. I'm not saying you should go and join the church, I'm just saying just to learn. They have a level of excellence. There's a way they do things. It's just so beautiful. So that man was like, oh, you mean you're part of this workforce? If you're part of this workforce, then there must be something about you, and that was why they gave him that opportunity. And he moved from not having a job or a job experience to I think they were paying 300K or something. I can't remember at that time. And he was not a pharmacist, but it was a very good job. So that's where your CV matters. That's why I need you to understand that no experience is a waste. No experience is a waste. No learning is a waste. Sit down carefully and think about all the experiences you've had and put them in a book. So it's from that book you will now go to your laptop and begin to create your CV or resume. Um okay, I hope we have like almost 500 or more people that signed up for this class, and I hope they're here because I can't guarantee you a replay for free. So I hope they show up. So now the first thing, once you have done that, that's your first assignment, to write out all of those things in a book. Please, a book, so it doesn't get missing. After you've done that, you can now develop your CV using your, go to your laptop, go to Word or something, or maybe if you want to use any app, even if you're using any app, even if it's an AI tool, AI will ask you questions that will help them generate something. They will not just put it from their head. So if you don't even have the right answers, you will not get the right thing. So you can now from there answer those questions, right? Now, when you have your CV, you now have a job opening, you now have a role, they call for a role, or you want to apply for a role, maybe, oh, I want to get a role as a social media manager, and you want to have your resume ready so that you can give it to people to say in case you have any opportunity. Because when you ask me, they say, do you have a resume, send it to me. You need to identify that, identify what that industry is about. What is a social, who is a social media manager? What does their resume look like? What does the role look like? What are the responsibilities like? You want to be a social media manager, you, and if you want to be a social media manager, one of the most popular social media platforms, you have to have knowledge about popular social media platforms, and the most popular social media platform is Facebook, which is now Meta. You cannot say you don't have knowledge of Meta and then you're calling yourself a social media manager. If you're a LinkedIn manager, put yourself there. You're a LinkedIn professional, LinkedIn manager. But when it comes to a social media manager, you need to understand that you need to have knowledge in at least three social media, popular social media platforms, at least three, at least three. So, or let's say you want to go for a data analyst role, maybe an entry data analyst role, go and check what are they looking for. We're going to be looking at that later. You're going to identify what are they looking for. You also need to identify, you also need to research on the company, the organization that is actually offering that role, and then you will now tailor your resume to match the what they call it, the target audience of that role. I don't know if you understand. Now, before we go into the other aspects, I need to share my screen with you. I want to show you something. Um, okay. So give me a sec. Let me, I want to share my screen with you to show you how we are identifying this, understanding your target audience. This is where it starts. Because when you understand your target audience, you will know who you're speaking to, how to speak to them, or when to speak to them. So I have this woman who is over 60 needing my opportunity, my needing to work with me. There is no way I will convince this woman for a virtual meeting. She's 60, she doesn't understand virtual, she doesn't understand digital tools, but she just needs me. So if I'm sending her something, I should not send her anything that will stress her or her head. She'll just log out. Except somebody has put in strong word for me for her to take me in. So you're knowing your target audience is very, very, very important. I'm going to show you my screen now. Can you see my screen? Let me see. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, yes, you can. So let's say, for example, we're looking for what, this is Indeed. We're going to talk about these things later. Social media manager. So you come in here and you're searching for a social media manager. The first thing you want to search, for example, if you're not even searching for the role, maybe you don't even have a particular job offer you're applying for, and you're just applying for what do they call it now? You're just applying for you just want to prepare your CV for that role. You check, this is a social media role. I've clicked on it. Ignore the pay. It's fine to look at the pay, but look at what are the job description. They want a media personality who will be responsible for developing and executing social media strategy. Social media strategy is one, creating engaging content. Content creation is two, managing social media platforms three, utilizing graphic design and graphic design skills four, and enhanced visual asset. That's five core responsibility, core skills needed in these responsibilities. And so they've now outlined it here. You have to utilize graphic skill, manage social media platforms, including content scheduling, community management, conduct social media listening, monitor trends, and all of that. So when you look at these responsibilities, you go to the requirements. You need a bachelor's degree in marketing and communication or a related field. When they put something like or a related field, you might have a background in medicine, you might have a background in law, but you've done a digital program. Maybe you did Tech Up Girls. Put it there to show that you did it there. So when you're putting Tech Up Girls in when you're developing your resume, you do not just put Tech Up Girls as a you do not just put Tech Up Girls as a what's the word, as a certificate. You put it under your education. We're going to be seeing that shortly. You put it under your education. That's part of what you have. Then you see the graphic design tools. These are skills that you have to put in there. So when you look at these things, the first thing you want to identify is you know what they are really looking for. Don't look at just one. Go to another one and look at it as well. There are quite a number of social media roles here. I'm seeing a lot of Lagos roles, and I don't know how some people are saying they don't have jobs, or they are I don't know how. There are quite a number of opportunities, right? So you need to understand the industry when you are looking for that. When you're looking for that, what they call it. When you're trying to understand industry, you need to go to job sites and see what they are looking for. You can also find information like that on LinkedIn as well. What are they looking for? What are the kind of things they want to see? And so you will know if you have them. Because, for example, your skills might be efficient in LinkedIn and not the whole of social media. And you're there putting your resume that you're a social media manager, and they are not hiring you because your resume is not commensurate with what they are looking for. Right? But when you look at the gaps, you either fill it up or you specify your CV to become a LinkedIn manager. So you know everything LinkedIn you are. Once you put in your CV, they know this is the perfect person for the role. But when you put it for a social media role, it might seem as if you're not qualified, but you're qualified. All right. So you need to identify the industry. You need to identify the role and know what it's like. If it's not clear, it might be your network. It's clear from my end. I'm sorry. Right? Then you need to tailor your resume to match the target audience. So when you've looked at those things, you can now tailor your resume to match the target audience. Now let's look at the key aspects of a resume. There are some key aspects of, I would use a CV, right? Then when I'm explaining them, I'll tell you the one that you can put in your CV and the one that you put in your resume. Remember that your CV is everything. So your CV should have the full name at the header, your contact information, professional email address. Now let's talk about professional email address, because I know some of you have not attended Tech Up Girls. Don't go and be applying for a role and your email address is sexypuff@gmail.com, yangamama@yahoo.com, mixsexy. Rubbish. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. It makes people look at you like you're not serious. It puts you as being very unserious. Don't try it, right? Go and open another email. You can keep your sexy pop somewhere and be using it to be subscribing to your other things. I'm not saying delete the email. No, I'm not saying no, don't do that. You can keep it somewhere, right? But just open a particular email that is professional. Let's say, okay, Ibereme Confidence. You can have ibereme.confidence@gmail.com or confidence.ibereme@gmail.com, or we can have I am confidence ibereme@gmail.com or something like that, right? Now, I need you to know that it doesn't have to be Google. You can use AOL as well. AOL mail are free. And so you dedicate that email to your search. Now, when you have that email, so that when opportunities come, you're not looking for it. Oh, I missed the email. Oh, I forgot. Oh, he entered my promotion. I did not see it. There were so many emails to filter. Don't be caught that way, please. Please have a professional email address. That's your second assignment today. If your email address is not professional, go and open it. If your email address have plenty numbers, those of you that you're so obsessed with your date of birth, and so your email address must have your date of birth. Me too, I have fine date of birth. Oh, my date of birth is 03/03/1993. So if I want to put 3, I was born on Wednesday. It is the third day of the week. I can do Excellence 333 or Miss 333 Joshua, or Excellence for 333, or Miss I can do it too. Don't do it. Don't try it. Don't have numbers, biko. Just use your name, or you can use periods. Period is dots, like full stop in between your names. Okay. Now, if you are a young lady here and you know you're going to be married, you can avoid using your surname. So you can use your first name and middle name. Why I'm saying that is so that you can always have the name. You can always have you can always have the email forever, because if you get married now and you change your email, your name, you now go and start using finding another professional email address. It's stressful. So except when you get married, you hyphenate your name and your husband's name. Anyway, that's fine, but I'm just helping you to think ahead. Even if it's recommended by Google, I'm telling you what works. Or even if it's Gmail that recommending it, to, I'm telling you, get a professional email address that is right, please. Then you can add links to your, if you have a website, it's fine. I think everybody should have a portfolio website these days. You can build one on Canva, you can build one on Wix, you can build one on WordPress. Please have a, if you don't have that, your LinkedIn is fine. And make sure that your LinkedIn profile or URL is optimized. If it's not optimized, go and join Tech Up Girls and learn, or go and beg Tech Up Girls to teach you how to do it, or go to YouTube and go and learn how to customize your LinkedIn URL. Don't let them now ask you for LinkedIn URL and you have linkedin.com/in/ let me find somebody's name again. Confidence, sorry, your name is always showing. Confidence Ibereme question mark exclamation underscore NTZU. You know how all those things used to be. Don't do that. It should end today. It should end. Today. Go and make sure that all your social media URLs have you have your username set. And once you have your username set, you can present it excellently. When you do all these things, it says a lot about you. It says a lot about how organized you are. It says a lot about how you think. It says a lot that you're intentional. And when you're intentional, people are attracted to you. Most people that need help, their lives are all over the place. And so they don't want to bring in somebody whose life is also all over the place to come and confuse them and all of that. So please, it won't take you so much time. Go to YouTube, you can learn those things. The next set under your professional information is your professional summary and objective. Your CV does not need to have a professional summary. Okay, it doesn't need to have that because it's a summary of your life. But if you want to, it's optional. You can have it and you can highlight your relevant skills or experience in there. Okay, you can have that, but it's optional for your CV. But you see your resume, it must have it. If you're transitioning into another role, right, you can put it there. This transition into another role and all of that. So if you decide to get the templates after this class, you'll see an example of what I'm talking about. So you should have a professional summary, that just, or objective. A summary, the difference between a summary and an objective is a summary describes where you have been, who you are, and what you're looking for. An objective is just what you're looking for. Now, in your objective, by all means, don't forget this thing I'm telling you now. Put it in your ear. In fact, put your hand in your ear like head like this, so that when you're writing your CV, you remember that I told you this thing. You remember that we did drama. Because if I just tell you now, it will be I'm not gonna just put your hand in your head like this. That's it, so that you will remember. I say objective. Never forget what is in need for the person trying to employ you. So some of you are writing resume. Your objective is I'm looking for a role of a social media manager where I can grow my skills and make so much money and become efficient. Rubbish. Don't try it though. So I should hire you and pay you money, my own money, for you to come and be growing your skills. When you now grow your skills, you now go and get job in another place, Abi. Kole work, they will not take you, except the person is not reading properly. Shogbo, are you hearing? Hear me very well. Hear it very well. You should focus on the target. That's why we started from target. Your eyes should be on the target. What are they looking for? So are they looking for growing their social media? Are they looking at making sales? That is where your objective should be around. A social media manager proficient in social media tools and marketing, as well as effective content strategy. ready to work with a collaborative team in an organization to grow their revenue. Shogbo, if it's me, if you're saying this out, sure you will not hire me immediately, noni. You hire me. I'm not Yoruba, or don't mind me speaking Yoruba. Nice school in Ibadan. Are you getting me? Am I making sense? Eh? Your objective, no, your objectives can broaden your skill, but it should not be about you. Even if in your heart you know that you want to use it to grow your skill, don't say it though. Don't say are forces from your village pursuing you. Don't say it though. It's not everything they used to say. Like that guy that went to go and say the UK people. It's not everything they used to say. Zip your mouth. It's about they are the ones that are going to pay you. So it has to be about them. Are you guys getting me? So make sure it's about them. Highlight your skills and your experience and your career goals, and let them know how those things will be beneficial to them. If possible, like we had said in this previous slide, go and research about their values, their culture, and their requirements. Also check what do they call it now? What their goals are for the next year, for the next 3 years, for the next 10 years. That is if you can see it. If it's an internship opportunity, you can let them know that you're trying to grow your skills, but you also let them know that you want to work with them to achieve your goals, their goals while growing your skills. If it's an internship, they know you're an intern. They'll know why they are calling you. But you need to make sure that you are not selfish and put it alone about yourself. Let them know that yes, you're ready to work with them, but you're also looking at, let it be a win-win situation. Nobody wants an intern that is fully a burden. Right? And so they're looking forward to seeing, okay, if this person interns with me for a while, there should be possibility for me to retain them. This person that is asking me what's the difference between summary and objective, because I'm seeing your name here as Facebook user, we just highlight you. Something that I've just answered now. Don't let me flog you. Don't let me blala you this afternoon. So after your summary and objective, the next thing is education and qualification. This is where you now list your education background in reverse chronological order. When I mean reverse chronological order, start from the latest first. Don't start from your primary school. Start from your PhD or start from that one first. You don't even need your primary school most times. Most times, you also don't need your secondary school in a resume. In your CV, put all of them. Also, in your education, for example, if you attend Tech Up Girls, that is where you should put it, please. Especially if what you studied and what they are requiring is different. So say, for example, they really need someone in the tech role, but you have robust tech certifications. However, you studied one engineer, maybe not engineering, maybe you studied banking and finance. You need it to be highlighted that you have that experience. So put it there. Now, your resume can be different. Some, they have a different category for education and another one for qualifications. In your CV, please separate them. I like my CV to be detailed. I like every area to be clear, so that when I'm extracting from my resume, I know what I'm extracting. So for your CV, separate education and qualifications. That's the certifications you're making, separate them. But your resume, you can put them together. Fisheries. Sure, you have fishing farm, no? I want to eat fish. Send fish to me. So it doesn't matter whatever you studied, but I'm sure it depends on what you're doing. You might be working in a farm. Do you know, funny enough, you can even want to be an online media manager and you're an expert in people that own fish farm because you have the experience. So you know how to do the video in the angle, and it makes you more qualified. So that might make you more qualified. So the basics here is you need to have your target in at the back of your mind. You need to, what would they like to see? What would they like to hear? When they ask you for your CV or resume, don't be quick to go and submit. Don't go and quickly go and submit. Hey, ask your CV, just send like that. Don't do that. Ask, please, what are the roles? Except you are the one that is proactive. You've done your CV and you're telling people, oh, I'm looking for a role in this, for this opportunity. Can you help me? And they now say, bring your CV. By then, I'm sure you would have prepared your resume to suit that role you're looking for. You can give that to them. Now, after them, list your work experience, describe your responsibilities, accomplishment, and contribution. Now, your CV should contain everything. In my CV, this is how my work experience looks like. Name of organization, role, the year that I worked there, then a brief description of what the organization is. So say, for example, President, Techie Train Incubator Foundation, Techie Train Incubator, then a brief description, Techie Train Incubator Foundation, empowers girls with digital skills and help them get jobs. Just a brief description. Then I now go into core accomplishments before responsibility. Raise X amount of funding, train so number of girls, raise like that, like in bullet points. And it's always important that you use actionable, but don't say I raised, we raised, and make sure it's about you. Even though you did it as a team, you can put it collaborated with the team to raised, worked with, like make sure is an active verb that you started with. So when I put that, then I now put my responsibilities as the president, this, and then contributions. So your CV can have all of this, but your resume cannot have all of this. Your resume should be brief. It depends on what they're asking for. Your resume can contain just the role and the accomplishment, or it might contain the role and your responsibilities. Okay. And when you're stating your accomplishments, please try to give it a number. Give it, don't say I trained many girls. I trained many girls. I mm-mm. Zulihat, if you have a certification but no experience in the role, how do you go about it? Now, look at the other roles you have done. Which of them is very relevant to your to what you're applying for? Put it there. If you don't have anyone that is relevant, make sure that this is captured in your objective, that you're looking for an entry. You're entering into that role, but then you have the skills, right? Capture it in your objective and do not put any work experience. I hope that answers your question. What about the president of the department of my university? Add it to your CV. If you're a president of at the department to your university, right? Add it. It's very relevant in your CV. Then you can add your skills and your abilities. You can in your CV. You can categorize your skills: technical skills, soft skills. But when you're doing your resume, because usually we're going to be seeing that your resume should not be more than a page, max 2 pages. Your resume should not be more than a page, max 2 pages. So if you're having that, you see you cannot put all the plenty skills that you have. So when you have all these things in your CV, you're not able to extract and put, okay, this is relevant, and you put them maybe 5 or 6 and put them together that are relevant to the role. In the job role, we saw that things like content creation is important, design skills is important, those things, so you can put them there. Make sure that they're in bullet points. You don't have to write in your CV. You can describe them, design skills, line writing plenty lines. In your resume, don't do that. In bullet points, it's okay. In your CV, you can also decide to write under your skills where you have applied the skills or how the skill be relevant. Not because you're going to submit that, but so that when you're extracting it to write your resume, you will remember why it was there or why you put it there. It just helps you remember. Then there are other sections you can add, like volunteer work, which is very relevant, community involvement. If you have professional affiliations, I'm a medical lab scientist, so we have NEMELSA. Maybe you're a doctor, you have MD, you have I think MDCN, right, or something. You're a lawyer, all those applications you can add them, or maybe you had accelerators, you're in memberships, put them there. If you have publications, put them there. Most of you I see here today, you're going to be great people. You're going to speak on platforms. You're going to write papers. By all means, please, wherever you speak, note it down. This is where I speak. This is date I put. Maybe you also they featured you on a newspaper. Make sure you save the link somewhere. These days you can put the link that are clickable on the PDF. Your resume might not need these areas. Your resume might not need it, except if, for example, let me give an example. If you're trying to get a job as in an impact organization, your volunteer work experience and community involvement might be more important than any other thing in your CV, right? Or a grant opportunity. So you see, you might include it as your work experience, even though it's volunteer, and then you put it volunteer. If you're also in your resume, if you're also trying to apply for remote work, you might want to specify in each work experience that, oh, this one I worked remotely. So you can put bracket in front, remote work. So there are a lot of ways to this thing. And then resume, depending on whether they request for it or not, you can put that there. But in your CV, have as many references as possible, right? So that whenever they need a reference, you can always extract from that and put. But always put a reference that would be relevant to that, because actually if the organization is specifically asking for reference, then you should know that they might contact, and so you want someone that is sure. Now please, as much as possible, I know we have amazing people that we want to have reference for, but please, can is it possible for you to have people that when you're listing them as a reference, the email they provide is an official email? Maybe they work with a school. For example, if it's a lecturer, UI website is ui.edu.ng, something like hello, sorry, maybe excellence.joshua at UI. Like, use their professional email. Try as much as possible to get used to that than using normal Gmails. For most applications, especially international applications, that works. If you put in a normal email, it might not it might work against you, right? um Now, once you've done all of that, the next thing is to make sure that your CV is well legible. I see people, amazing option, beautiful experience, but their CV is scattered. A is there, B is there, everything just scattered. Please arrange it well, organize it properly. Make sure the fonts are right, make sure the sizes are right, use bullet points where you can. As much as possible, avoid tables if you want. Make sure the white spaces are clear, make sure everything is arranged. If you cannot get it arranged, if you have a friend who is good with Microsoft Word, beg them to help you arrange it. If you don't have, you can go to Canva to edit, to create one, your resume there. Just have your CV somewhere, because it's for your keeps. So if you like, do it jaga jaga, have it for keeps. But your resume, go to Canva, or there are many free apps you can use to arrange it. So you do that, right? And then once you do that, except they specifically ask you to send your resume in doc, never send your resume in doc. Send it as a PDF. Never send your resume in doc to anybody in a doc format like MS Doc or something. Send it as a PDF. Always export, convert as a PDF and send, except otherwise stated. There are some places they specifically state add it. But if they even state that you can send as a doc or PDF, don't fall to that trick. Send as PDF. Now, the thing about PDF is that when you send as PDF, it's a blocked form. Everything you arrange stays the way it is till it gets to the recipient and when they open it. When you send as a doc, maybe when you sent your own doc was 2003, my own Microsoft Word is 1999. When I open it, it will scatter and be all over the place. It will scatter and be all over the place. So please make sure you send us a PDF. Do I advise you arrange your CV yourself or use an app template? You can use any, but if you're using an app template, please try not to use one that is too busy. You can use Canva. Okay, now not CV, resume. Your CV, do it yourself. Please take time to sit down and do your CV. Most templates out there are more designed for resume, so it's not very comprehensive, right? Your CV is like your life history, but your resume, there are templates on Canva, there are other templates, but try to make sure it's not too busy, so that in case they're using a software to read it, it's not confusing. So try to make sure it's clear. Correct font size and font name for the civil for the resume. I won't tell you any. Just make sure it's a legible font size and name. Some people will go and tell you area, Calibri. I don't used to do that. As long as it's legible and it's not too bold and it's not too small, which is okay. One page max or two for your resume. Is it right to include companies you worked for but do not have a certificate in your CV or resume? When you work for a company, do they give you a certificate for working for them? I don't think so. So yeah, put it there now. Put it there. Put it there, please. Um, and you don't have certificate. You didn't do secondary school. SSC is not a certificate. I don't know. And I don't even understand your question. Go on, please ask it again. Then once you do that, please always review your CVs and resume, especially your resume which you're going to be submitting. Yes, you must submit your CV sometimes. So grad school, they requested for my CV, and that was what I submitted, not my resume. Why for some other applications requested for my resume, which is what I submitted. So always check for grammatical errors, typos. Check that your number is correct there. Check that your email is correct, check that your LinkedIn URL is correct, and all of that. Please always do that. And also send to people to have a third eye to look at it for you, to help you know if it's okay or not, if possible, and make necessary revisions. So someone is asking, if a tech company asks for a CV, are they trying to find out if you will send a resume or CV? Yes, please send the resume. Most times for job roles, they're asking for your resume, but it's not about a company, it's not about the tech company. It's about looking at the roles, the responsibilities and the demand of the role. You know why I'm saying that? Because they may ask for a resume, and you know that if you send a resume, it doesn't capture it all, right? There was a role that I got that really paid me well, and they asked for a resume. I sent a CV. I sent that CV to show them beyond reasonable doubt that I am more than qualified for this role. However, on that CV, I had a summary at the header so that they don't get discouraged. All these are many pages. They already had a summary of what they will see, of who I was and what I was looking for, and to show that I had all the skills that intersected in the right place for that role. So it all depends on what you're applying for. Hobbies are not for your CV should be there. Have your CV, have it on your CV. For resume, if you have space, you can put it. And also, if you are applying for a company and you see the company are big on people, you know, some companies they are big on people, they want their staff to relax, to enjoy, to be free. You might want to include your hobbies. However, if it's a strict company and you see they are all serious, you're going to be putting hobbies, climbing tree, hobbies, hiking, hi Guinea. You want to put yourself in trouble? Don't do that. So you see why it's important to know who your target audience are. Um, Lady, you have to sit down with the Indeed app. So we are moving on to cover letters. So I'm just trying to take questions if they have. See, we've done 1 hour. We've been doing CV for 1 hour, and we still have cover letter. We still have portfolio. Oh my God, I'm tired. We still have quite a number of slides. So I'm going to rush it through. Um, Someone is asking for resume. What happens if you do not have any experience in the role you're applying for? What do you do? What do you do? I've answered this before. Go and watch the replay. I said I'm going to answer it for the last time. If you don't have experience in that role, look for the other roles that you've done that likely have a semblance to what you're doing. So for example, you were a front desk officer. However, you manage communications, which can be very, even though it was offline, it's relevant for online as well if you want to become a social media online manager. So look for a way it intersects it and put it there. Then in your objective and summary, make sure you cover it there that you're trying to transition into this role. You don't have experience, but you have the skills. Cover it in your objective and summary before they even get there. Um, I cannot promise you the replay for free. And when we are done with the class, whatever the Lord tells me in my heart, that's what I will do. Yeah, there'll be a replay, but what I don't know is if it's going to be for free. How do you present the fact that she helped her mom in the market for CV? Hey, come, let me write it for you. You helped your mom in the market. You have sold in the market before. Very strong skill. It's not everybody that can sell in the market, though. She has to sit down and think about it. It's a very strong skill. I'm not here to be answering individual CV questions. Am I going to share a good format or template for a good resume? Not for free. There are templates, and then if you pay for it, premium access, you get access to that. Um, Technical and soft skills. So technical skills are skills where you can use hardware or software. While soft skills are more psychological skills, communications, leadership, emotional intelligence, and things like that. Why didn't you Google this thing before asking me? Eh? Um, oh my God, there's so many questions. Is a summer institute accepting students who want to get experience in the field? So do I send a resume or a CV? What are the eligibility of the institute? It depends on the eligibility. You can't just tell me they're accepting. And what is the eligibility? Your eligibility will determine what you should send. This is the last question I'm going to answer before we move. I work for Indomie Noodles and Crackers Custard as a field executive. Then they employ people with university certificate and also give them a bit of employment at the first level. Okay, because I'm a gem by, they didn't give me any. They only employ me because I was smart. Is it right to include their names in my CV and resume? Posting it again because he said yes, include it. Include it. When people hire you, they most likely will not ask you for your letter of employment from the other organization. So please include it, okay? If they now ask you, they will not ask you, but if they ask you to tell them about your role there, you can tell them that because you were smart, you were given this opportunity, and during the interview you can sort that out, but they won't ask you for the letter. Please include it. Now, cover letters. What are cover letters? A cover letter is basically well crafted letter that increases your chances of landing a job. If you notice, when we've been talking, I kept emphasizing on your objective, that head. That's when you're sending it. But most times they will call you to send your resume or CV via email. So when you're sending your resume or CV via email, you can I see most people, they send CVs to me or resume and they just say attach is my email, or they even put the email and just send. That's rubbish. You have to send a proper mail, and your proper mail should have a cover letter. So all these excuses and peculiarities you all are putting in the chat box, or most of you, not you all, most of you are putting in the chat box. This is where it covers in the cover letter. Your cover letter usually should, when you have a cover letter, I see some people also make the mistake of, when they are sending the mail, they attach the cover letter as a document, they attach the CV as a document. You don't have to do that. Put the cover letter in the body of the mail, and at the end of the cover letter, say, find attached to my resume. Put it there, right? I've even gone ahead of me. So in your cover letter, you should have a personal introduction first. In welcome, greet the person that is hiring you. Never say dear ma or dear sir. Some of you put dear sir forward slash ma. That means you have not done your homework. Find out who you're writing to. Before we go that, a cover letter is your personal introduction. It gives you an opportunity to highlight some skills and experiences that align with the job requirements. It also allows you convey your enthusiasm. Now, with a resume, it's more structured, so you cannot communicate some things. But in a cover letter, you can pour your heart on how you will really want to take the role and what the role is for. And the cover letter also allows you to add personality. It can be you, maybe share a story or an insight of something that is relevant that you believe you bring to fore that will help you, that will help them in the organization. You can't put that in your resume, right? Um, it also You can also address the employer's needs. Maybe there were specific things they listed, and this is where you also address, oh, I studied fisheries, however in the last 4 years I have worked in the digital space as this. I am well experienced. This is where you cover it. Before they go to the resume to see it, they know what is there. And then most people write cover letters and do not add a call to action. Always write a call to action. You look forward to hearing back from them. If you have an availability, you want me to discuss further about this, I'm open to that. Remember that your well-crafted cover letter will complement your resume, and it helps you stand out. Now, this is where I'm coming to the core components of a cover letter. There are three core components. The opening paragraph, where you greet them. Always try to identify. If you do not know whether it's a ma or a sir or their name, put dear hiring manager, or hello hiring manager, or hello hiring team, or dear hiring team. If you're not sure if it's a guy or a man or a woman, don't put dear sir or ma. If you know their names, hello Mr. Biodu, or dear Mr. Biodu, or dear Miss Oreolua, or dear Mrs. Adeniji. Research about these things. Don't just see an offer and just jump and apply. Take a few minutes to know who this organization are, what they're about, who they are, who is possibly heading their HR team, who is possibly hiring. Leave a remarkable impression by doing your homework. The second thing should be your paragraph, should be your body paragraph. Remember to align your skills with your experience, and also make sure you demonstrate that you understand what the company is looking for. Don't just go and apply. Check what they are looking for. Check the requirements, and make sure that you outline that you fit, how you qualify. And if you don't qualify by education, maybe how your experience qualify. Highlight those things, and then make sure that you have a closing paragraph where you reiterate how you're interested in the position and you're ready for further discussions of an interview or clarity. Make sure you add a call to action. Do not copy and paste generic cover letters. Some of you go to Google, type, copy, paste. And for those of you that are going to get templates that I'm going to give you, some of you will still go copy and paste. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do not address the organization as Hello TLI Co. Limited. Don't do that. Hello hiring manager, or their name. Hello hiring team, or their name. Hello or dear um consideration or something. Don't do that. You cannot say hello University of Ibadan. They'll be like, this one is not serious, right? Also avoid, you see what I was saying, avoid general greetings, address the hiring manager by name if possible, and then follow the specific instruction provided in the description of the job. If they say attach something else, maybe add a portfolio, put it there. If they whatever they say, don't go and over sabi, don't go and do over sabi and over kini, don't do it. Now portfolio, I'm sorry, we have to wrap up as soon as possible. I have to pick my son in the next 15 minutes. I believe this class was going to be for 1 hour, but we've gone like 1 hour, 11 minutes already. And I started exactly on time. So I'm sorry. Okay. So, what is a portfolio? I had to add a portfolio here because I believe I'm talking to tech talents or those that are looking at becoming tech talents somehow in the future. Your portfolio is basically a collection of your projects. Even if they don't ask for a cover letter, as long as they ask you to send your resume via email, put a cover letter there. Never attach a resume and send without a cover letter. If you're sending via email, put a cover letter. And I'm not saying in the email you go and write cover letter, capital letter as the heading. You now underline it. You now start typing, well, write letter. It's just called the cover letter, but write the letter the way I outlined. Um, a portfolio is basically a collection of your project works, your achievements, and all of that. It demonstrates your skills, and it's actually a visual representation. It can highlight your creativity and problem solving skills. Now, I've seen a lot of people that your portfolio is all about you, except your except your except your maybe it's for a personal opportunity or something. But if it's to get a role, your portfolio should have the cover. Please note this. It should have the cover. After the cover, it should have your maybe a brief about you if you want to put. And when you're putting about you, you might want to just put your name and maybe the skill sets that you have. You don't have to put a long story, but if you want, you can put that. After the skill set, the next page you have maybe the services you offer. And then after that, you might want to put the jobs you've done, the brands you've worked with. You can put their logo, you can put their results if possible. You can mention the results you got, maybe 2 lines, the problem and what you solve. Please put that there. Then you can now put your rate card. If you have a rate card, maybe this is how much you this and that's if you're a freelancer. If you're not a freelancer, you don't need your rate card, you just need those job opportunities, and then have the contact me page, thank you and contact me page, as simple as that. 10 pages is fine. However, if you're a freelancer, put your rate card so they can see everything, see your rate card and see how to contact you. And if you have a website, you also put it in there. Unfortunately today I do not have the so much time to walk you through the Oberito Shishe platform. The website is www.womenwhowork.africa. You can go check it out. In there, we are connecting women with tech talents with opportunities. It's currently on beta testing, but in this month, I have a plan to really drive so many employers there to come and hire our women. But the few that I've hired, because of this issue we have of them not communicating their value properly, I've been having issues with that. And so I had to step back. This class, I decided on it last week because I had 3 employers where I had this issue, and I was just trying to convince them that this person was good enough. It was just too tiring. So I had to step back to make sure I have this class with you so that when you go there and sign up and on board, you will come correct. I'll be proud of you. When I refer you, I'll know that hey, I referred you. So the platform is currently free. It's currently free to talents. So please go on there and sign up. It's free and trust me, you'll love it. And it's not going to be free forever. So you might want to get in now that is free. So you'll be able to access it. And when they come for opportunities, admin managers, designers, all of that, they'll all see you there. You can write out the link is women who work dot Africa, so you can check there, just sign up and let me know if you have any challenges. After that, so a lot of you are asking about replays. Now, I'm not sure if this class is going to be on replay. I might just, but it will not be on replay on the Facebook group. I'll put it in on, it's good. We're also streaming on YouTube actually, not just on Facebook. We have people watching from YouTube. So it's going to be there on YouTube so that you can go and watch. I don't know for how long, but for those of you that had network issue, please try and watch it in the night. Network is clear, so try and watch it in the night. However, I'm creating a more elaborate course for this. I just thought there are some people that even after saying all of this, it's still not detailed enough for them. They still want more detailed one-on-one to work with. So um I'm creating an elaborate course that tells you how to, not just how to create a CV, a resume, a cover letter, your portfolio. Start doing practical, we can't finish it today. Then I'll also teach you how to search for the right roles, how to save, get alerts for the right roles, how to prepare for interviews, the kind of questions they will ask you. And this course is not just for job opportunities. I don't know if some of you know, I've won quite a number of grants, and I've currently just won an opportunity of over $200,000 to grad school. And trust me, it's all these things work for me. So when I teach you, I'm not teaching you from what I just went to go and read. I've done it over and over again. It's worked for me. I've helped a lot of people, but I've just been running away from it because I didn't want to teach half. I wanted to teach everything, and I knew it's a lot of work. So I keep bringing other people to teach. But this time around, I just felt these people are not still saying enough. My girls are missing it. I need them to understand, and that's why I had that. But when I was also creating this, I realized that 1 hour, 30 minutes, 1 hour will still not be enough. So we have this course, and then you're going to have access to resumes, CV templates, cover letters for, and as well as portfolio templates for if you're going into an entry role are for people like internship, or you're going into an entry job. And then we have mid-level roles, maybe you have some form of experience. Entry, you don't have any experience at all, so we'll have a template for you that can cover that. Now for the very first 50 people that sign up for this, you get access at $25, which is about 10,000 naira in naira, if for the first 50 people that sign up. And then after that, it will go to $75, 30,000 naira. And then the normal fee is 125,000, $125. The course is going to be open on June 19th, Monday, June 19th, 2 weeks from now. So from there you have access, and it's forever access. You'll be able to download the templates, and you watch the courses online, but you'll be able to download the templates. And you also have the opportunity to send me your resume, one resume, one CV to review for you. So you can send me one resume, one CV, and I'll review for you and tell you whether you did it well or not, or what you can do better. Just send it by, there's a form, you send it to me, and then I'll do it, and I'll email you back and give you my feedback. I think that's something I can do for, I hope, not many people, so there are not 1,000 people and I'm overwhelmed. But really, that's what we have available. So yeah, if you want to be part of that, fine. But if the class is enough for you, please, I love you, and I believe I poured my best in this class this afternoon. Although there's so much I want to share with you, but we can't cover it. Like I said, I have another meeting. I have to go pick my son, and I have some other assignments to do as well. So if you want to register, the link is on the screen, but we are going to send you an email just after this class. I will also put it in the caption on YouTube, as well as in the on Facebook or something. Or you can send me a DM on Instagram or something, and then we'll send you the link if you need that. Yeah, then in the class you can also ask a question. We'll have community, so you can ask me any questions that you want. You have access to the class forever, but you have access to community for 3 months. So you can always ask questions, because you'll be applying for so many job roles, and so you keep creating resume and changing. And so if you have any questions, you can ask that. Okay, so thank you all for listening and coming with me tonight. I hope you got value. Did you enjoy the class? Am I a good teacher? Was it clear? Was it simple enough? Or maybe I should add some things. So the replay will be on the in the YouTube community. I don't know for how long, so please just go there and watch it. I don't know for how long, so please just go there and watch it. I want to let you guys know that I believe in you, and even if your CV, your resume have gaps, you can walk around it. You can build the future you want. You can be anything you want. You just need to take the step. It might be a lot of work, it might require a lot of sacrifices, but please give yourself a chance. Show up in your best self. Be very prepared. Be prepared. Don't show up unprepared. Don't show up unprepared. Don't show up unprepared. Be prepared. Be ready for the future that you seek. What you want to earn, become it. Become that person. Become that person. Invest in yourself. See this makeup I did today. I just Today is my day one of my makeup tutorial. I signed up for a makeup class, 2 weeks makeup class. Today is day one, and it's 3 times a week. And I know the brow is bold because me, I don't like bold brows. But then before I got this one, we had to clean it 3 times. Like we clean it before I got it right. Right? But I'm open to learning. I had to sit down with her 3 hours, 3 times a week. I'm so busy, I have a lot, but I said no, this morning we had to start very early because I had a series of meetings today. I said no, I must not miss it. I won't cancel. We are starting today. Give yourself to learning, stretch yourself. It might be uncomfortable, but it's for a while. It's for a while. It's for a while. All right, that'll be all from me for you guys, and I wish you a very amazing day. Thank you so much, and I hope you leave a comment on YouTube when you watch and you find value in this class, so that others can watch it as well. And quickly share to your friends. Quickly share to your friends if you need them to watch it before it goes off. So share to them. They could go to YouTube and watch it. Thank you guys, and have a beautiful day. Peace out. Bye bye.